So I just recorded the entire video only to accidentally unplug the cable with my foot right after and corrupting the entire video file. Time to start over. Alright folks, if you've been subscribed to this channel for a couple of years, you might be imagining several rooms stacked floor to ceiling with all the stuff that has made an appearance in videos. But in reality, most of what you've seen in videos is gone by now. I keep buying and selling stuff all the time, and sometimes it can take quite a while for something to disappear. Like this longsword here, for example, I've had for quite a while now, and I really like it. It's very unique, but I keep looking at it every now and then thinking, well, how much more can I do with this? I still have to finish the review, but otherwise this may have to go eventually. So sometimes it can take quite a while, but a lot of things just are gone within a couple of months or even weeks sometimes after seeing them in a video. Now, why is that? Why is the collection in constant flux? Why do I keep selling stuff all the time? Well, the first reason is pretty obvious. About 90% of all my purchases are essentially business. They're just things specifically for the channel to make videos with and about. And if I didn't have the channel, I wouldn't own as much as a quarter or even a fifth of the stuff that I currently have. And so it's constantly a process of thinking, so what else do I need? What can I make videos about? How many videos can I get out of this thing? Am I done with this now? Is there anything else that I can do? If not, well, off it goes. And then I free up the funds to invest them into the next thing, to something new to show and make interesting videos with and all that. So and sometimes that can backfire. Occasionally when I have an idea for a video or I'm planning something, I'm thinking, oh, you know what? This one thing that I had 2 years ago, that would be really cool to compare to right now or to bring into this. But you know, you just gotta make decisions sometimes and just be like, yeah, probably I can't get too much more out of this, so it's time to go to get the next thing. And if you look at all the stuff, like just for giggles, I actually went through my firearms playlist and counted everything, and also based on pictures. And apparently the total number of firearms that I've had is 33. I do not have 33 guns right now, not even close. Currently, what I have that is going to stay is 4. Everything else has either already been sold or will be sold soon. You know, like several shotguns, the SU-16, the Brown Bess, a number of revolvers, so many things that you've seen in videos that are long gone. And don't even ask me about swords and knives. I can't even count. It must be in the hundreds at this point. I currently have, I think, about 15 or so. But what has been over the years, that must definitely be in the hundreds. The other main reason about that is gaining experience for review purposes in particular. If you only have one sword or a couple of them, it's pretty difficult to really evaluate and review them properly because you just don't have much comparison. I mean, sure, you can look into the details of, you know, weight and balance and analyze things on a theoretical basis. You should definitely do that, very much so. You shouldn't just rely on your personal experience, but there's still a difference between the theoretical part and just picking up a sword and comparing them directly. Like, you can have two similar swords, 2 reproductions based on the same find or a general model or whatever, and they can look pretty similar in the picture, and the stats can be reasonably close, but then you pick them up and you're like, yep, this one. Way better designed, feels better, and it's hard to convey that sometimes, just how much of a difference that can make. Like, you can pick up a sword and you can be like, holy crap, that's the real deal, you know, that's so much different. Even then, of course, it's important to always keep in mind that there may be biases, or that you may not really be able to fully appreciate what this is supposed to be and do. Like, for example, the term well-balanced is often thrown around, and often somewhat carelessly. I was guilty of that myself, where I thought that something like a blade that's top-heavy is just not a good idea by default, which is ludicrous, of course. You have cavalry sabers and a number of more cleaver-like blades that can very well be intentionally top-heavy and for more powerful chops and things like that. But it's also easy to just fall into the trap of looking at something like a falchion, like I covered recently in a video. You look at the blade profile, like the ones that taper a lot toward the point, you're like, wow, this must be really heavy and clunky. And then you pick up a properly made reproduction, like, oh, never mind. On the other hand, of course, it is very worthwhile to point out the importance of theoretical knowledge, because if you just go by reproduction swords, then you may get the wrong idea. If there's just a tendency to make reproduction swords different from what the originals were like, lighter or heavier or whatever, you may get a wrong idea. But it is really helpful to have a broad frame of reference where you can compare a lot of things, because you've handled so many. If you've handled hundreds of swords, then you're better able to spot the important differences and get a better idea of what to point out, what to criticize, etc. And it's also something that I just personally really enjoy. Some people are pretty railroad, like this is what I like. Like at HEMA practice, for example, there are some people who are just rapier people in particular. All they practice is rapier. That's what they're passionate about. That's what they're interested in. They don't really want other swords. Or somebody is a longsword person. That's what they're all about. They don't really want to get sabers or arming swords or whatever. Some people have a more broad base of interests. As far as I'm concerned, it's probably about as eclectic as it gets. I'm very curious. I can get into all kinds of things. I like to try out new things. I like to get new experiences and compare things, see the differences and similarities. It doesn't really matter. You can throw just about anything at me. If it's, long swords, rapiers, small swords, sabers, different types of sabers, scimitars, pole arms, spears, you name it, axes, just yeah. To the point where you almost don't even have to ask me the question of, are you interested in this? Chances are the answer is yes. There are exceptions, of course. There are certain things that I'm not interested in, but overall, I'm too damn curious. All the things. So yeah, that's part of the journey, and that's also what I really like to do on this channel. Of course, I could give you a lot more in-depth, like very in-depth information about a variety of things if I just specialize, like if just this one thing and I throw all of my time at it and I become a very deep specialist. Is that a word? Yeah, a total expert on this one thing. But I do like to just offer you the variety, so that you can look at certain things and like, oh, so this actually exists. I didn't know about this. Or, this thing, yeah, I've seen it occasionally, but I didn't really have a good idea of this. And now, you know what? This is something that I might get into. And then you can choose to get really deeply into that and do a lot of research on it. But it's good to be exposed to a large variety of things and concepts and ideas, and just to broaden your general base of knowledge. And knowledge is of course part of what this channel is about. It's even if it's mostly entertainment focused, I do like to educate people and give information as much as I can. So yeah, variety is good. At least I think so. It does lead to disappointment sometimes, where somebody asks, hey, where's your such and such? And I'm like, sold, like so many other things. And they're like, oh no, I wanted to see more of it. It is somewhat difficult sometimes to make the decision of, should I keep this? Should I make more videos about this? And sometimes after I sell something, I'm like, you know what? I could have done this. Didn't think of it at the time. Well, it is what it is. And this was pretty rambly, But you know what? I just thought recently I might have fallen into trying too hard to be professional, because I try to streamline everything on the channel and kind of cut out the more rambly, more personal stuff outside of live streams to, optimize the channel and blah this and blah that. But you know what? You can try too hard sometimes to go for the professionalism. And sometimes it's better to just let it out and just share your enthusiasm with people and just have a casual chat about the things that you're interested in and kind of connect that way. And yeah, so that's what we're doing right now. So hope you liked it. Thanks for watching and have a good one, folks. This did record, right? Yeah. Carefully step over the damn cable. If you haven't seen it before, I've got an Amazon store where I list certain things that I personally recommend, like swords, knives, video and audio gear, tools, etc. And I'll keep adding new stuff in comments. The link is down below.